How to push through depression. Anybody that tells you that depression isn't difficult to deal with, that you've got to pull yourself together and all that kind of crap, doesn't know what they're talking about and hasn't been through any kind of serious depression in their lives. It sucks bollocks big time. I've struggled with depression since, 13 or 14, and I've made 3 attempts to take my own life, so I'm not going to talk about those today. Suffice to say, they were very, very difficult times, okay? But you can push through depression. Right now, there's a lot of people struggling with depression and anxiety because of the circumstance, because of what's going on in the world, in their own lives. You know, relationships break up, people get fired, all kinds of shit happens to us, and that can throw us into depression, okay? The thing we need to understand is that when I was a kid and as I was growing up, we were told it was a chemical imbalance in our brains and there was things going wrong upstairs and it was a mechanical kind of thing, you know, rather than a behavioural or environmental kind of thing. Thinking has changed around depression. Yes, there are a few people, a small minority, that have physical chemical imbalances, but the majority of people that go through depression, it's through to events and the environment. So say, for example, you've been married for a long time and suddenly your partner decides that they've had enough and either they throw you out or they leave. Of course you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel, you know, like the world has ended. And in a sense it has, yeah? And you can fall into a pit of despair and depression. But we can push through it, because the main thing to understand about it is that it will end. Now, I know if you're going through depression right now, I think, oh yeah, bloody hell, great, thanks a lot, Paul, it will end. Thank you, that's really helpful. But we need to focus on something, the tiniest little thing, because, you know, if you're in the pit of depression and despair and anxiety and fear and worry, all you see is darkness. Your mindset is closed. It's become fixed and rigid like a stone which can't move, you know, doesn't want to look forward, doesn't want to look backwards, just wants to feel bad, yeah? So we need to find one tiny little thing to focus on. Yeah, I know it takes effort. It's hard because you don't want to focus on anything. You just want to hide under the duvet and eat loads of shit or drink loads of shit and watch crap on TV. Yeah, and you don't want to do anything because this is what depression does. It kind of like sucks the life out of you, like one of those sort of like horror B movies from the 50s. This thing latches to your body and just kind of sucks it all out, all the life out of you, you know, be like Alien or something, yeah? And so you don't see any way out. But this is what we need to do to push through depression. We need to focus on the tiny little glimpse. Think of, it's a cliche, but the light at the end of the tunnel. Imagine all you can see is darkness, okay? Well, look around you, try and find one tiny little pinpoint of light. And your goal, one single goal is to focus on that tiny little pinpoint of light, because that's the end of it. That's the other side of depression. And we can get there. We can find our way out, yeah? But we need to focus. We need to understand that where we are now, that pit that we're in, isn't everlasting, yeah? Things will change. Circumstances will change. And if you're struggling right now, you think, okay, Paul, yeah, thanks a lot, but I just don't see it. I can't see any way out of my situation. I can't see any light. Yeah, because you're in this place where your mindset doesn't want to look. It's not interested in looking. It just wants to feel sorry for itself, yeah? Now, I'm saying this with a lot of love because I've been there. I understand what you're going through. But what we need to understand is that our mind just wants to close down and woe is me and life is shit and all that kind of stuff, yeah? So all I'm asking for is one tiny little glimmer of light, a tiny little pinprick. It doesn't have to be more than like a full stop on a piece of paper. Because what we can do, if we start to focus on that little piece of light, yeah, we can expand it, do the reverse of what I did, because my depression, I mean, Winston Churchill called his depression his black dog that used to follow him around. Mine was like one of those cartoon black circles. You remember when you were a kid watching the cartoons, the hero would be being chased by the bad guy, and the hero would put his hand in his pocket and pull out a black circle and throw it on the floor, and the bad guy would come running along and fall through that was now a hole and disappear. The hero would pick up the black hole and put it back in his pocket and run off. Okay, so what I want you to think about is the reverse of that. Find that tiny little pinprick of light, and just ever so often, just start to expand it so that the light gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, I could tell you there's a lot of things we could do. We can, you've heard it all before, and it's very, very difficult. Just actually standing up and, taking a shower and going for a walk, eating some, all that stuff you know about. Yeah, all of those things will help you push through depression. But one step at a time, one little tiny step at a time. Find that piece of light. Focus on that piece of light. If you've just come out of a long-term relationship and it's ended and it wasn't your fault, then focus on the fact that you had good times during that relationship and you can have good times again. If you've lost your job and you're in debt and things are looking very, very bleak, I'm sorry and I understand, but we can change that around. It will take time and it won't necessarily be easy, but it is doable. I've done it and lots of other people have done it, and you can do it as well. But we need to recognize that it is doable. Again, coming back to that little tiny dot of light, focus on the light. Yeah, circumstances can be changed. We can improve things. And it looks black and it looks horrible and there's this huge weight on your shoulders. I get it, yeah? But focus on the light, focus on that one little tiny spot and do whatever you can to start expanding it very, very slowly. And then start moving towards it. And depending on where you are, that might just mean, getting up and walking around your apartment. It might just mean getting into your garden if you're lucky enough to have a garden. Yeah? It might just mean walking around the block. It might just mean calling a friend. It might just mean, watching some idiot on YouTube or Facebook talking about stuff. Yeah? It just takes one tiny little thing, one tiny little step to help you move forward. And once you've moved forward, you can move forward again and again and again and again. Just tiny little steps, because I know it takes effort. I know it takes energy, and I know you don't want to do it. But what I'm trying to encourage you to do is to take a tiny little step forward and to understand that you can push through it. It's an episode. Think of a movie, okay? Think of a scene in a movie, okay? What you're going through now is a scene in the movie of your life. And 10, 15, 20 years from now, when you look back, you think, yeah, that was really shit. But I pushed through it, I got through it, and it's made me a better person. Look at where I am now, okay? This is what I think. Yeah, I've been through some really, really, really tough times, yeah? And I look back at them and go, wow, they were black, they were horrible, they were nasty. But I'm still here, and I'm still smiling, and I'm still pushing through. And the sun is shining for once, which is brilliant, yeah? So find that one little pinprick of light and understand that you don't have to do this on your own. There's loads and loads and loads of help. If you're feeling embarrassed about it, if you feel that you don't want to talk to anybody about it, I get it, I understand that, yeah. But your GP has lists of people that can help you. There are lots of different things you can do. There are lots of different therapies and treatments that won't cost anything or very low cost. You can get help, so don't struggle alone. Don't face this on your own. There are lots of people that will listen to you, that will let you get it all off your chest and will help you see the light, will help you move forward. The thing is that nobody will know you're struggling unless you tell someone. And that can be the hardest thing. You know, sometimes we can soldier on, we can pretend we're fine, we can go to work, we can go down the pub, and we can, on the outside, look like everything is fine and normal. But only we know that it's shit, that it's horrible, and it's nasty. So you talk to someone. Yeah, go and talk to your doctor. Go to a walk-in centre. Go to, you know, ring the Samaritans. Ring someone. There are people out there that are trained to listen to you and to guide you and to help you push through this depression, to help you find the way out through the other side, because your life will improve. I know it doesn't feel that way right now. I understand that and I appreciate that, but it will. But we need to start with that one tiny little bit of focus, that tiny little pinprick of light. Just focus your energy on that tiny little pinprick of light and move towards it, and do whatever you can to move forwards and to grow into that light. I hope you found this helpful. Listen, if you want to talk, I'm around. If you want to drop me a message, I'm about. If you want to leave a comment, please do. But just, you know, whatever you take away from this, you're not alone. You're not the first person to go through this, and you won't be the last person to go through this. There are people out there that will help, yeah? And you can help yourself by asking for help, and you can help yourself by making that first tiny little step forward. Look for the light, a tiny little pinprick of light. And once you've found that, you know you're on your way to pushing through your depression. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.